Hello, hello. It's Monica from Life is Art. It's Wednesday. Let's create something. How is everybody doing tonight? I'll give everybody just a moment to find us and pop on and say hello. I was just chatting with my friend Ina. She's the one that gave me the idea for this layout. I'm going to have to adjust my camera just a smidge. Hold on to your hats. I've been coughing and coughing. Something's tickling my throat, so hopefully it goes away. I took a big swig of water just before we started, and so hopefully that settles it down. Hey, Mom. Hey, Debbie. How's everybody doing? I'm just scooching my mat around here, so there's a bit of delay between what you guys see or what I'm doing and what's happening on the screen, so takes a minute for it to catch up. I'm going to just grab another sip of water. So, did you guys have a good Easter? We had both a quiet Easter and a fun Easter, kind of a combination of the two, and it was nice. The kids had an Easter egg escape room type scavenger hunt that we did, and that was fun. I'm just trying to find something. I set it down and now I can't find it. Does that ever happen to you? If I was scrapbooking in person right now, we would all say, Monica ate it. Because that's usually what happens. Oh, well. Okay. So, let's get started. So, we're going to be doing a layout tonight. I had asked for somebody to post a layout to challenge me to make it. And I didn't, last I checked, nobody had posted one. So I was chatting with Ina, and she said, oh, well, I can find one. And so now her plan is she's going to challenge me every time so that I can show her how to make all the layouts that she's been looking at and wants to know how to make. So there's some advice for you. If you see a layout online, then you don't know how to make it. Well, then let's try to make it together. So this is the sketch that she gave me. I'm just holding it up. I hope it comes in clearly. And this sketch was created by Pamela Young at pamelasworldofscrap.blogspot.com. That's where this particular layout is from. And so it's a sketch. And of course she showed a layout that she had made with this sketch too. But she doesn't include any measurements on the sketch. So I thought I would show you what I do to figure out sort of the measurements and things. And this is a nice trick that somebody else taught me, and I can't remember who, but they said, take a sticky note. And so you've got, if you've got a magazine or even, a layout in our catalog, and you say, oh, I like that layout. How did they make it? What size do I need to cut these things? So get a scrap piece of paper and make it about the same size as what you're looking at. And so this is going to be a 12 by 12. So I go by a 12 by 12 measurement. And so if I fold it in half like that, I know that that's approximately 6 inches. Okay? And if I fold it in half again, then using my great mathematical skills, that means that these sections are all 3 inches. So let me just grab a marker so I can write this on here so you can see. So that's our 6 inch, and these are our 3 inch marks. And so from that we can extrapolate that if you broke those into thirds-ish, because my math is so awesome, and my spatial relations, those are all about 1 inch. So now we have a ruler with which to measure things on our layout. So if we're looking at this layout and we want to see, okay, what size photos are they using? Well, this one is about a 3, 4, 5, a 4 by 5. Okay, and then these smaller ones are about a 2 by 3. And then if you want to see how long this little dovetailed border is here, or banner, you can lay it down like this. And it's about 8.5 inches long and about 1 inch wide. So you see how handy this is? It doesn't matter what size your sketch is. If you take the measurements directly from the sketch, then you know you're getting approximately the right size. So we've got this strip at the top, and then a section in the middle, and then a smaller strip at the bottom. And if you're like me, you don't want to cut just one great big piece and then put another great big piece on top of it. You cut the strips for the top and the bottom so you don't use as much of your paper. So our top one, now if I lifted this up you could see better. Our top little strip is 1 inch. Our bottom is about 1/2 inch. And then the one in the middle is about 5 inches, and they go all the way across, okay? And then we need to figure out our triangles, and the easiest way to make a triangle is to have a square and then cut it from angle to angle. So let's figure out how big our square should be, and 3 inches. So we need 3-inch squares to make all of our little triangles. Then we need a 1 by 12, a 5 by 12, a 1/2 inch by 12, and then we need a 1 inch by 8.5 inch piece for our banner. And if we count up our triangles, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, which means we need 6 squares, because we can't have, it's much easier to do a square and divide it in half than to make half. And then we have journaling and a title. So that's an interesting way of finding out the measurements. So if you see something in a magazine or online, you know, just have it in a format. So I've taken a screenshot and put it on my phone. So it's not going to do anything and change size and disappear and all that. So I know it's going to be the same size every time I come back to it. And then just use a scrap piece of paper as your ruler. So there you have it. So that's the layout that we're going to be doing. And I'm going to be using pattern papers and PML cards from Eat, Play, Love to construct it. And I'm going to start with a white daisy base. So let's put this here on our layout. And then we've got this yellow plaid is going to be my big piece. It's the back side of the cherry paper. And so then I'm just going to go ahead and use the cherry paper for our 1-inch strip and our 1/2 inch strip. Now, one thing I didn't check when we were doing the measurements was where I'm going to put these strips. So the 1-inch strip looks like 1, 2, 2.5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so this strip is about 3 inches from the top. So that gives us our starting point to build all of these down. Don't you just love my mathing out loud? So let me grab some adhesive. So does anybody else use this technique for figuring out measurements when they see a layout that they want to do? Has anybody tried this before? Where you just take a scrap piece of paper and figure out, I forget who, somebody did a video on it and a while ago. And I forget who that somebody was. And I'm sure they learned it from somewhere else too. So there's lots of people that use that technique. So there we are. We've put it 3 inches down from the top, which is easy to do with the Versamat. And then we're going to add this yellow plaid in. Of course, I didn't show you what photos we're going to use on this layout. So once I get these background pieces on, I will show you the photos. Mum has seen them already because I sent them to her earlier today because it was something that we were just doing last night after supper. So let's add the plaid in, and we're just going to line that right up with the piece that's already attached. That makes life nice and easy. And then of course our last little strip is just going to go on there, and it's going to go right up underneath the yellow plaid. We had nice sunshine for most of the afternoon. The morning looked a little cloudy, but it was warm. I don't even know how warm it got, but it was warm. There we go. All right, so let's take a look at the photos. I have photos here, and you can probably tell from this picture what we were doing for dessert last night. We were making s'mores, and Mom and Dad had come by a couple weeks ago and brought us some chocolate from World's Finest Chocolate. So there's some mint chocolate bar actually inside. So these are mint chocolate s'mores we were making. Marshmallow. And what we do is we have a bunch of these pillar candles, and we stab the marshmallow on our fork and we roast them over the candle and make our s'mores that way. So there's the boys, and then there's Dad. Of course, he had his carob chips on his. He can't eat the chocolate, but carob chips are yummy anyway. So these two photos I printed with leaving some white space. And this one I'm going to add the white around it just by doing a mat. So let me just add that on there. And then if you remember from the sketch that we're working from, hey Shauna, hey Ina, you guys found us, yay! From the sketch that we're working on, if you remember, the three photos are kind of off to this side. So here we go. So we've got the big one, and then the small one, and then another small one. And they're kind of stair-stepping on this little banner here. So I'm just going to check with my handy-dandy little ruler I made. And the banner is about at the 4-inch mark up from the bottom. So that will be our next step. So what I did was I grabbed some of the candy apple red cardstock, and I cut it. I thought it looked nice with the cherries there. Let me just grab my scissors so we can dovetail the end. Just like that. Snip in the middle and then snip from the sides. And what did we say? 4 inches up? I think that was the measurement. So let's see if we can sort of line this up. I'm going to kind of do a little bit of a cheater here. I'm going to put this at the 5-inch mark, and I'm going to measure this at the 4-inch mark. Jiggle, jiggle, and that should kind of line up with my photo. It also helps that I'm putting it on plaid, so there are actually horizontal lines. So there we go. We've got our little strip going across there. So we've got our big one, and it's sitting on top of the little banner like that. And then we've got this next one that's kind of stair-stepping down, and then this one that's even down a little bit further. And they're all kind of overlapping. I'm not going to stick them down yet because we need to take a look at all these triangles. So back to our layout that we're looking at here. We have triangles here, here, here. But these ones at the bottom are kind of lined up just below. So I'm going to take my ruler and take a look to see. They're about 1.5 inches, maybe 1.75 inches. I'm going to say 1.75 inches from the bottom. And this one starts, yeah, you know what? Actually, I'm going to start at the top one because it's just in from the edge. And it looks like about 1.5 inches down. The point is kind of in the middle of that space. So let's start with that. So let's bring in, I've cut a whole bunch of triangles here. So these are, again, 3 inches. So I did some that were the floral, some yellow, This is one of the PML cards. This is another PML card. And another floral. This is one of the papers. It's the back side. Another floral. And then the same as that one. Like that. So that's our different squares. And then I'm also adding this one because I thought I would show you how I just quickly trim them from corner to corner. So you take your 3-inch square, you turn it 45 degrees, and you line up the points of the square along where your paper trimmer is going to cut, and then you just cut it. And that's the easiest way to make triangles. I wouldn't want to try and make them any other way but starting with a square and then cutting it in half, because it would be a lot of work otherwise. All right, now let's see if we can get ourselves back in the middle here. Okay, so now we have to decide what kind of design we're going for here with these triangles. So let's lay them out. I haven't even tried this yet to see where I want to put them. We've got kind of yellows and reds and florals and tans, and we want to kind of mix them up. So I'm going to start with a floral up here. And this one, the point was about halfway through this. So that's our starting point there. Just like that. And then, how about we go for something bold right beside it? We'll go for this one like that. And we're leaving some space in between. Okay? Just like that. And then we've got another one that's going to go down from this. So let's go with a blue one like that. And then we have one that's going to kind of tuck under here quite a bit. So maybe we have a lot of the florals. So let's tuck one of the florals under there. And actually it should have gone under this banner. So it's a good thing that I don't glue too heavily. Okay, so let's kind of line them up a little bit like that. We'll slide that one under when the time comes. And then let's get one of these plainer ones in here. This one is going to go down here like this. And then we have one that's going off the edge. Let's get another blue one. This one is going to actually get cut. Right about there. It's actually cut pretty much in half. And then, let's see, how about another floral going off the edge, and it goes upside down like this, and it'll pretty much get cut in half. So that's awesome. That makes it easy. How's everybody liking the layout so far? You guys are all so quiet tonight. You're all in deep thoughts or something. All right, let's get a yellow one in here. We may actually not need all of these. I think I've made mine just a smidgen larger than what they called for, but maybe not. Maybe not. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. And then we've got another one like this. I think I want to bring in this red. Oh, it's going to go this way. Because this one kind of goes off the side like that. And then one more here. And it's going to be upside down. That one will be okay. Like that. It's kind of tucked right up against that. Like that. And I think that's it. That's all the triangles. So we had a few extras. That's okay. So all together we needed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. But we need to cut this one in half. These two in half. But maybe we'll just glue them on and then trim them. Because that seems to be the easiest. Okay, and my daughter came in and borrowed my liquid glue. So we're going back to the adhesive. So let's get these stuck down. So I want to remind you guys that when I post the announcements for the Wednesday and Sunday nights, sometimes I'm going to be asking you guys for a challenge. So if you have a layout or a card or something that you have seen and you want to either make me sweat and see if I can make it, or you would just like to know how you could go about making it, then save them on your devices or on your computer. And so when I post about the Wednesday or the Sunday, you can add those on there. Give me a challenge. So this one was one that Ina gave me this afternoon, about 45 minutes before we started, in fact. So I sorted this one out on short notice. All right, let's get this one on. I kind of like these triangles. The one layout that I was considering doing, because I hadn't heard from anybody, had triangles, and I think that's what sparked Ina's thought about doing this one. She was like, oh, there was the one with triangles. And it's fun if you, especially because I was able to use some of the PML cards for this. So sometimes the PML cards that we really like are ones that have sayings on them or have nice icons we can cut out. But the ones that are just patterns are great for using up this way because that's all we need. We just needed pattern. And so that was awesome. I could use up a few of those. I still have quite a few, actually, surprisingly, because I've used quite a few. Some of them are journaling spots, and those are great to have. There we go. I like how the little yellow bit is just poking through. Now I'm going to do a little something that's a little bit different from the original layout as we go along here, but I will show you that when we get to it. So I'm just peeling that up just like that. So I can tuck this one under here. And then we'll stick that other strip back down. We're being rough with our layout tonight. We're going to make it. We're going to make it fit. All right, under there. There we go. And then we'll add a little bit more adhesive because I think all my adhesive is under the triangle now. It's amazing how the cardstock comes up like that. Pattern paper, not so much, but cardstock is nice and sturdy. Okay, now that we've shifted everything around here. All right, so where are we at? Here, the yellow one. It's hard to tell when they're all laying here. Which ones I've done and which ones I haven't. So are you guys thinking this might be a layout that you might want to try? I think it could easily be made into a 2-page layout because it's got the nice horizontal part happening. Where you've got these strips, so you could continue that on to a second page. You could even continue the red and just have it dovetailed opposite. You kind of make a mirror image. But you could also do, because the triangles on this side are kind of down like this. On the second page, you could maybe have the triangles up in the other opposite corner, which would be fun. Any other ideas how you could make it into a 2-page layout? Let me know in the comments. There we go. I kind of like doing this sort of technique where they're lined up like this because once you get it on there, you're just filling it in. There's not a lot of measuring or anything. It's just lining it up with the one you stuck before. Now when you get to the other side, maybe it won't be in line, but your eye said it looked good while you were doing it. The eyeball method. All right. Let's get this one down. For some reason, I think my yellow pieces are bigger, but that's okay. It could be that these blue ones are just slightly smaller somehow. Well. All right, now which way did I say? I think this one was going here, and then the red down on the bottom. Almost done with the triangles. And we're just going to pretend that there's nothing else happening above there, because that's how the other layout was. And there's going to also be this little nice little nook here left over. We're not filling that in. Now, if you were continuing onto another page, you could absolutely finish the pattern kind of coming across, and that would really tie them together. Kind of straight-ish. All right, so now I'm going to have to pick this up and turn it over, and I can trim off all the pieces that are hanging out over the edges. That's always the easiest way to do it. It's just to flip it over like that. I don't have to worry about the glue because my non-stick scissors don't mind the glue. Another way you can make a second page easily is by using a pocket page for your second page. And that's actually a layout. Remember, we made a layout a while ago. And I said, I'm working on a second page. And it also had triangles. And I had to cut the photos to fit the triangles and da-da-da-da-da. So I'm still working on it. I haven't forgotten. I even worked on it a bit over the weekend during the crop. So I'm still working on it. But it's not done yet. But the second page is going to be making use of pocket page to make it into a 2-pager. So let's start sticking our photos down. So again, this first one is going to be at the edge. It's pretty much on the edge, but it's near the bottom of the red. So we're going to have it kind of like that. And it's really close to the edge like that. Now, most times when I make layouts, I do not put things that close to the edge, but this one seems to work, and I think it's because these things all kind of go to the edge. So it kind of works like that. Did you notice when we were making this that they changed the pattern? So the pattern going this way was, you know, points up, points down, points up, points down, then points up, points down, points up. And then this one they just tipped on the side because I think they wanted to have this sort of diagonal line going. So sometimes there's a little surprise in there. OCD people would be like, what did they do? Why? You know, it's like when one of the tiles is misaligned on the floor. Everybody goes, what is happening? All right, so we're just kind of stair-stepping the photos up like that. And there's not a lot of embellishment on this page because we've got so much happening with patterns that it really doesn't need a lot of embellishing. Shouldn't have stuck it quite so close. Now this is right at the top, like that. I stuck my adhesive near the edge, which I usually don't do, but we'll just make it work. There we go. Good enough. All right, so now we need a title. And so on this page here, we've got this one that says memories, and we've got this one that says family, but I think the memories is fun because this is something we've now done a couple of times, making the s'more. Actually, I think this is maybe our third time. Sometimes we just do the marshmallows, but this is our first time actually making real s'mores. But the kids all think it's pretty cool, right? Because, you know, when we go camping and stuff, we do s'mores. But of course, we haven't gone camping because it's been a while. And so we make it happen, right? You just do what you can. So I've got this title up here, and I think I want to overlap here over the edge of the frame. So I've got memories, because we're making memories, and I could have popped that with 3D foam tape, but I think I like it just like that. This is going to be a nice flat-ish layout. And then I'm just looking to see what else is on the gut. Hey, hot stuff. Woo! Could do that, because we're trying not to burn the house down. Sugar and spice, not so much. Gather together, that's a good one. I could put the hey hot stuff here beside my hubby. Just to make my children embarrassed. So let's do that. Right there. Hey hot stuff. That's fun. Now on the on this one, they have the journaling down here, which I think is a nice place to put the journaling. And then they've got a couple things just stuck on the side here. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be. But it's really close to the side. And I don't necessarily want to cut Justin off too much on the photo. So now I'm just going back and looking at my sticker sheet, seeing if there's anything else here I want to include. We've got these 3 little hearts, and that could be something that could maybe go here or just below the photo. That would be kind of cute. We've got a couple just little hearts in different colors. So maybe, I'm just going to think about that. But I've also got these cool wooden shapes that I'm just in love with. Love them so much. And let me dump them out here so you can see. They're fabulous. They come with this Eat, Play, Love collection. So there's a little wooden chopping board, and a little teapot, and an oven mitt, a little bowl, you know, all the things, all the fun little things, the mixers. So a lot of those don't really go with what we're doing here. The little spatula could maybe, but there are some little flowers and hearts, which could be fun. We could put a few little flowers. They're kind of little flowers that are made out of little hearts, right? They look like little heart-shaped petals. So we could put a couple of these things here and there. Kind of like that. Maybe a couple up by the title. There's big ones and little ones and in between ones. We could put a couple there. Maybe another one somewheres. Maybe over here by the edge of the photo, like that. And you could put another one there, or maybe up here, just like that. Make a little cluster. That's fun. We'll scooch those out of the way. Let's see too, because sometimes these little cards that are cut from the pattern paper, sometimes they can be fun to fussy cut out little things. I didn't look through. I don't think maybe there's anything that's appropriate for this. Spice things up. Not really. Let's eat. There's sugar. Well, we're definitely using sugar on this page. But anyway, okay. So let's see. What else? Do we need anything else? How are you guys thinking about this this layout so far? Do you think we need to add anything else on there? We're going to put a little bit of journaling down here. We've got these 3 little hearts are kind of talking to me a bit. But I don't know. You could always do memories ... Yeah, I'll think about it. Okay, let's get these little guys glued on here. And Julia took my glue. Let's see if I can get my liquid glass to go. It doesn't always agree with me, this liquid glass. It's got a bad attitude. I've probably abused it. going to come out the side. That's fine. I'll stick it on there one way or another. There we go. Now, the fun thing about these wood shapes is you can use your shimmer brushes on them and add color to them, which is fun. And you can ink them, which is also fun if you don't want just the plain wood color. I'm kind of liking it though because that kind of gives a reason for this. I may actually do my journaling on that tannish colored triangle that's sitting down there. Give it a reason for being plain and tannish. Like that. Where did we miss? Oh, there's the one. I knew there was one more. It was just hiding. Just like that. Alrighty. And I think that maybe that's about it. Going back to my sticker sheet, because you never know what might kind of pop out at you. You know, we certainly could have done some splattering with our shimmer brushes or some paints. But I think I like the kind of clean geometric lines that are happening, and then these cute wooden pieces, just like that. One thing I could do, if I had, sometimes it's nice, because these are little floweries, is to have a little enamel dot or something that you can put in the center of those. And one thing that I don't have really a lot on here is black. And sometimes it's nice to have a little touch of black somewhere. So I am going to, let me just grab my poker. I'm going to maybe grab some of these little enamel dots and put them on. My journaling will be done in black, but otherwise there's not much on there. So let's stick a couple of these. It's kind of a decorator's thing. They always say you should have something black in a room. It doesn't matter what it is. Just something small, and that draws you into the room. And I think that's always a good thing with scrapbooking too. Now sometimes the black is just that you've inked something. You know, you've stamped something with black ink, and that's perfectly fine. Works like a charm, as they say. But I think I like the look of these. And we haven't put dimension anywhere else on besides these little wooden bits, so I think it looks like a fun little touch to add those. One more. I learned that trick with the pokey thing. It also works with your pokey scissors. You can line things up just like that. All right, I think we're done. I like how that turned out. What are you guys thinking? We do have a little bit of black because Julia likes to burn her marshmallows. So does her brother. But the marshmallow he's holding right there hadn't been burnt yet. But you can see the sooty marks on her s'more. So I think that's really cool with the triangles. Now there was one thing that I was going to do that I forgot until just now, and it was also incorporating adding a little bit of black, was that I thought on some of these triangles I might add just a little bit of doodly lines just around the edges like that. Maybe a double doodly line like that. And then maybe this one here too. We'll do some doodly lines. You could even do stitching lines, anything like that. Where else? Maybe this one up here. And they don't have to be precise, they're just doodly lines. It's kind of mirroring the little sketchy stems. That's the word, stems. Oh dear, some days. All right, and so we just added to 3 of those, and I think that looks good. And then of course we'll do our handwriting. And when I do this, I might actually make like sketchy lines for my journaling. That's why my brain is not coming up with words today. I don't word well on Wednesday nights. So there we go. We've got our nice little title there using this sticker. We've got our little cluster of wood shapes with some enamel dots on top. We've got a few little sketchy lines. We've got our photos. We've got a nice other little hey hot stuff. And we've got some more embellishing there. And we've got all the fun patterns and then a few other plainer ones thrown in to give your eye a spot to rest and a spot to do some journaling. And that is a done layout, my friends. Just have to add the journaling. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you liked seeing that method of figuring out the sizes of the pieces on a layout just by using your photo that you have or the sketch that you have and using a scrap piece of paper to figure out your measurements from that. It's really helpful when you have that. So I hope you guys have a great night and a great rest of the week. We'll see you on Sunday. Bye.